my name is Yumi Ridsdale. I am a registered acupuncturist and Chinese medicine herbalist from Ontario, Cambridge in Ontario, in Canada. Today I'd like to talk about Chinese medicine basics 001. How does it work? So, first, Chinese medicine has a long history. It may be the longest medical system that it's still been practicing today. So it goes all the way back. The oldest text that we have is called Huangdi Neijing. It's a Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. That's written around here, 220 BCE, 200 BCE during the Han Dynasty. And Han Dynasty was after Qin Dynasty. And before Qin Dynasty, there was a Zhou Dynasty. Well, there was like a warrior period. And then before that, there was a Zhou Dynasty. And Zhou Dynasty, I believe, is the oldest recognized dynasty of China. There's a Zhou, Wenwan, Wuwan, Zhou Gong. There's a lot of very important historic figures and philosophical figures were from the Zhou Dynasty. And before Zhou Dynasty, there was the Yin Dynasty. And before Yin Dynasty, there was a Xia Dynasty here. The Xia Dynasty, Yin Dynasty, is I think they only appeared in fictional or like it only exist in as a reference, or maybe it's a fictional in the book as a older dynasty that was before Zhou Dynasty, but it is believed that they exist. And before Xia Dynasty, here Huangdi, Yellow Emperor, there's a kind of dynasty that was governed by the Huangdi and then his descendant, and that was like what, 2700 BCE-ish. And before Huangdi, there was a period that the Shennong was governing. So both Shennong and Huangdi is a kind of mystical, legendary figures of Chinese history and philosophy. But the Shennong and Huangdi is the first one who really studied about Chinese medicine. Shennong was a divine, called a divine farmer in English, and then he was said that he had a transparent stomach, and you could see whether what he eats can go in which organs, and then that's how he studied what herb does what. And then truly, Shennong Benzaojin, so the correction of the Shennong's wisdom, it's still the basics of the how we understand Chinese herbs. And Huangdi, he talked about the Chinese acupuncture points and then how the Chinese medicine works. So those two figures are the oldest historic figures about Chinese medicines. Anyway, so that's a little bit of the history of Chinese medicine. So foundation 1, Yin and Yang. So you probably seen this mark of Yin and Yang. So what's Yin and Yang really? It is Yin and Yang is a concept of dualism, describing how seemingly opposite or contrary may actually complementary interconnected. It is connected. So two opposite things are phenomena are tightly connected. So this is about, essentially it is a law of the nature. It's like without this side of the coin, the other side of the coin won't exist. Or without having a higher, there is no lower. So it's just a very simple law of relativity that governs the entire universe. So Yin and Yang is a relativity. So there's only more or less. There's no such a things like 100% yin or 100% yang. It's either more yin or more yang, because there's no such a things like highest of the highest or lowest of the lowest. It's only lower than these things, or this is colder, or this is warmer than this kind of thing. So, but basically, yin is more colder, yang is warmer. Yin indicates less, yang indicates more. Yin indicates the deficient, yang indicates excess. And yin in Chinese medicine, yin often means that the tangible organ or tissue or blood, something you can see, you can touch, something actually you can visibly acknowledge that it's there. But yang would be the function of the organ. So again, without the organ, there's no function, but without the function, organs are just a thing, right? So you need both yin and yang equally important. Anyway, so this is the basics of the Chinese medicine. It's yin and yang. Also, Chinese medicine is about holism. Means that the idea that the human and other beings on the earth or anywhere are one whole complete organic system. It's not a collection of the parts. It's not humans are not collections of organs put together. It's a system that each individual organ take an important part to make this system happening. So it's not, you can't just take out the soil, take out the trees, or you have to see the entire system here to understand how it works. Just like in nature, you need the waters and then suns and then earth, and then there's the trees, and then tree drops the fruits, and then animal eats the fruits, and then animal drops the poop, or when they die they become soil, and then it's this circulating whole entire system exists in a human body as well. It also so that means you can't talk about the one particular organ without being in the context of the bigger system. You can't just, when you have you have a headache, you have to think about the entire body. It's not just a head problem. When you have a skin issue, it's not just a skin issue. You have to treat from the inside. What's going on in this soil part? What's going on in this tree parts? What's going on in this water part? You have to, when you're treating one particular area, you have to see the whole entire system. Also, body, mind, spirit. It's about kind of holism as well. So you can't just, there is a body and there's a mind and there's a spirit, and you can't treat each of them separately because it's all one thing. They are all interdependent, interconnected, and then depending on each other's being. Yeah. So, for example, overwhelmingness. It's a mind issue, when you easily get overwhelmed, but it's not just the mind. Often overwhelmingness comes from the deficiency of the gastric juice in the stomach, maybe the root cause. When you have anxiety, it's not just a heart issue because you get a palpitation, or a chest issue because shortness of the breath. It may come from the weak digestion, leaving an undigested substances in the stomach, causing the turbidity in the stomach that affects the brain. So you have to think the entire whole system as a one thing. So that's a meaning of the holism or holistic approach. Then we also care about the correspondence. So correspondence is that each part is the reflection of the whole. So it connected to the whole idea of the holism, but each part reflects, or each part indicates about the entire system of this person. So you can think of like a particular symptom of one part of the body, or the indicating what's going on in other area of the body. So like a reflexology, like a foot reflexology, like the upper part of the so here's a toe, so the upper part of the sole can indicate like a lungs and heart. The mid part may be the stomach and liver, and towards the heel there's the intestine. So that's like a the reflexology is like you see the entire body in this macrocosmos here in the sole of your feet. Or we also use auricular acupuncture. Auricular acupuncture, same with the foot reflexology. Entire ear has the system of the body, and you can like diagnose, or you can treat other part of the body by stimulating the certain part of the ear. So if it's a auricular acupuncture towards the here, there's like eyes, and then mouth and lips and nose, and then here there's the lungs, there's a heart. Towards the inside there's a kidney, there's a liver. Here's around here is the stomach, and it's kind of hard to see, but this is the leg to the here's the bum, and then here's the spine here. So entire body fits in the ear. So that's correspondence. And then uniqueness. This is very important. Each individual are unique, very different. You can't like there are no same person, right? So like a treatment principle for even like a simple headache or skin or eye issue or digestions, you can't just apply like this is a treatment protocol and then this is for everybody. It's not like that, because each individual is different. As far as Chinese medicine concerns, or I concerned, race doesn't matter at all. More like which part of the earth you grew up matters. Like if you grew up in Caribbean, living in Toronto, of course you will have a problem. Vice versa. If you come from like Finland or northern part of Ontario, where it's very cold and a lot of the we have a longer winters and shorter summers, but suddenly after you retire, you go to in Indonesia or Cambodia and then start living where it's more muggy and then like more rain or different climate system, like you will have a problem, because the treatment principle that's more common in Ontario may not be the same with the treatment principles that's common in Hawaii, because we're different, right? What you've been eating, what's your diet, staple diet. You've been eating rice and fish, or potato and meat, or you may not eat healthy, or like those. Your diet, lifestyle habit matters. For the same reason, like how much you work or how much you work out matters. How much you rest matters. So there are so many small factors to make the person, each individual, unique. So it takes the treatment requires like a great deal of the flexibility to match each person. So when I give a Chinese herbs, I never usually give like the same herbs, exact dosage, exact strengths to multiple people, because they're different. For this person, this herb the formula may be different, even though the same symptoms, and then but for this person, this particular herb's dosage should be more than this person, because she can digest, or this herb should be modified because this person have a night sweating or something like that. So uniqueness, like when we treat each person, it is different. Each person has a different lifestyle, different life story, different everything. So the treatment principle for each person is very different. Also, 天地人. 天地人, so here's I put some characters. 天 means the heaven, di means the earth, ren means the human. So 天地人 means that it's very important that so human are affected by the both heavenly law and earth condition. So heavenly law is like something, it's a universal law. It's like a moon cycle, the movement of the stars. You know, like we talk about the Chinese zodiac this year. So this year it's 2020. So it's a year of the rat, and next year is the year of ox. It actually that matters. To me, I don't, not so much, but for some other practitioners who take that seriously, it matters a lot. It even changes the how you diagnose the person. It's not so important for me just because I'm not very good at astrology. That's all. But it matters a lot. And then the earth is like a environment or climate. So it matters. The treatment happens in northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. It matters. Treatment happens in morning or evening. It matters. So 天地人, it means that the human are both affected from the on top of your own lifestyle. The universal heavenly law matters, and an earth's condition, like environment, matters a lot. So how we treat in Chinese medicine? First of all, we always, any practitioner, what we do is bring the balance of yin and yang. So think about the yin and yang in like a teeter-totter. Yin and yang are constantly changing. It's constantly changing. You don't have the same yin and yang forever. Like by minute, moment to moment, it changes. How much yin, how much yang, it fluctuates all the time. So and then the season matters, the day of the time of the day matters. So we always, acupuncturist and then Chinese herbalist, all we do is to bring the balance of the yin and yang of the person. So this teeter-totter is as still as possible. It doesn't move too much. The more you have a movement, the more severe the symptoms will be more severe. So yin and yang, when the yin and yang is in balance, you may sweat a lot, or you may feel too cold or too hot, or you may not have you may not be able to eat. Then defecate, or you may, because eating and defecation is also like a basic yin and yang. Maybe one may be too thirsty, can't have enough water, like when there's yin and yang imbalance. Yeah, so we try to bring the yin and yang balance as steady as possible. We also align one's body, mind, spirit to the law of the nature. So you should have an appetite in the morning when you wake up. you should feel sleepy, tired and sleepy in the nighttime. You shouldn't have more energy in the nighttime and then can't sleep. That's really against the nature. Usually, we wake in the nighttime, daytime, and then we go to bed in the nighttime, and this daily rhythm matters. Woman's menstruation, you should have a menstruation in a regular kind of cycle. If you live, I used to live on the boat, so high tide, low tide, I know there is the definite cycle, or a moon cycle, there is, the nature comes with the cycle, and then the way body works should align with the cycle. So we try to align our patients holistically, body, mind, spirit, to the nature, law of the nature. And then it does not just, Chinese medicine does not just manage the symptoms, but it treats the root cause, root imbalance of yin and yang. Because yin and yang balance is so fundamental to the body, mind, spirit, when the yin and yang balance is steady, naturally the symptoms or illness will get better. We just don't give a, when you have a pain, we don't just give a painkiller that masks the pain. We investigate why you have the pain. I had a client who had a debilitating leg pain, and all he gets is stronger and stronger painkiller medicine. That doesn't do anything. There is a reason why the leg pains. It's for this person, it wasn't anything structural, nothing, no injury to the tendon or bone or joints or muscle. Actually, his leg pain comes from his digestive system. So without treating his digestion, his leg pain is not going to go away. It's just like a gout. When you have a gout, you can't just treat the pain. There's a reason why you get the gout, and then that's usually from the guts. So you have to treat the guts. When you have a depression, like a severe depression, you can't just sedate the person. There is a reason why the yin and yang balance happens in the mind, causing the depression or anxiety. You have to investigate what's the root imbalance, and then Chinese medicine goes to the root and then see where is the imbalance happening, and then we try to treat that. And by doing that, all we want to do is to increase the antipathogenic qi. So what is qi is a different story. But antipathogenic qi is basically your immune system. So body has its own ability to heal itself because it's a complete organic system. If there's something wrong with it, body can usually deal with it. So Chinese medicine helps the body to facilitate the own healing. It helps. It gives a kick it gives the juice to the body so it can do what it's supposed to do, what it's meant to do. So we don't alter things. We just help the body to heal itself. By doing that, naturally, your immune system will go up. So it's winter right now. It's end of the November of 2020. You can take whatever immune boosting supplements, but really what you need to do is treat your body's fundamental yin and yang imbalance, which is different from person to person. So you can't just take this supplement's good for everybody. There's no such a things. And by treat your yin and yang imbalance, and by doing so you will naturally increase your antipathogenic qi. You will make your immune system stronger, and then your body can fight against the illness that comes to your way. So that's basically the nutshell of how the Chinese medicine works. And I hope it helps to understand what we do and why we do what we do. Thank you for listening. This was the Trium Chinese Medicine, and my name is Yumi Ridsdale. If you're interested, please come visit my website. And yeah, if you are in Ontario, please come visit my office, and then we can talk about your own unique case in person. Thank you. Bye-bye.